What's up, everybody? Wholesale 101. We're talking about virtual assistants. It is October 8th, Friday. The whole month is spooky. I'm thinking I might dress up for the next episode. I am Mike the Wholesaler. There's my contact. You can follow me at Mike the Wholesaler on all social media. And you've got my phone number. You can text me, ask me questions, join the Facebook group, all of that stuff. Every other Friday, if you're watching this later, and it's the 8th. So not the Friday after the 8th, but the Friday after the 8th. All right, about me. So I'm married to an amazing, beautiful, shy wife. I got 2 crazy kids. There they are. There's Noah and Lincoln. You're probably going to hear them if you haven't already. There's Noah and Lincoln again. I collect monopolies. I'm the wholesaling supergroup leader. I won Teacher of the Year in 2018 for my wholesaling boot camp. All right, so homework that you should really consider doing is to read How to Win Friends and Influence People. You can get it on Audible or you can read it. I would just say Audible. If you can do Audible and read it at the same time, so you're like hearing it as you're looking at the words, that's probably the best. But as long as you're reading it, that's good. All right. Print out and read the contracts. You can get the contracts from the 12-week online wholesaling course, which is free with your membership. Or you can get Stacy's contracts. So either one will work. Mine are 1 page. I think Stacy's are 2 page, maybe. I just like the 1 page because it's simple. If sometimes you do extra stuff, like it's possible you may keep this one or wholesale it, go with Stacy's. You know, mine is just going to wholesale it. All right, practice the Cosmo tactics we talked about on people. Try not to be aggressive. Find your unfair advantage and exploit it. And then have an extra business casual top in your car for meeting sellers. Again, because it's sort of taboo to have the "We Buy Houses" on your shirt to meet sellers with. All right. Let me get the chat out here. Okay. Virtual assistants. All right, here we go. It's an assistant that is virtual. Okay, so it could be in the country, could be out of country. It is a person that logs into your back office. It is called VA for short. Okay, so they do stuff on the internet for you. They could be part-time or full-time. Do you need one? Okay, so when you have done the task and you need a VA to do it, so after you've done it, you find you're doing menial tasks that anyone can do. So you're pulling leads, you are pulling out LLCs out of a list, you are, clicking on a site and pulling a list, right? Or you are uploading it to a site and you are clicking skip trace these people. Something that anybody could do. You've done your first deal and have the extra cash to do so. So I would wait until you do all of those things to get a VA to do it for you. I would wait for all of that. I did have a student that hired a VA, quit his job, and I think he just had a bunch of extra cash. They gave him cash when he left. I was like, man. And so he spent some of that on a VA. But he was lucky. Okay. All right. So finding a VA. Ways to find them. You know what? Let me just leave out of here now and we'll go find a VA. Oh, you got it on Audible. All right. Yeah, it's really good. And then I didn't have it in there, but if you've read that, Never Split the Difference is a really, really good one. All right, so let's go to Podio. And we're going to go to our workspace. And we're going to add an app. And we're going to create it, and we're going to call it VAs. And each one will be called a VA. And it's a standard. Let's see. Let's do that. That looks like a business person. Okay, so title. We want a name, and then we want a link here. And we want a 30-second a 30. Is that part of that? Oh, it's just glitching out. All right, so a 30-second clip about why we should hire you. If they don't know how to upload a 30-second clip like to YouTube, chances are they're not going to be a good VA. All right, they need to at least be able to do that. And then we want to know can I bring this over? Nope, I can't. Okay. It's being weird. All right, so we'll click on the wrench, modify. There we go. Okay. What do you like to do in your spare time? Okay, so I want to know some truths. I want to know that they're going to tell me the truth. I want to know what they want, what they do and like to do in their spare time. So something away from work. Okay, I hired a good guy on one time because he said he played Clash of Clans and it was super fun to him. So I said, yep, it's like a truthful thing. So if they say like spreadsheets full of crunching numbers, that's not those, you want somebody who's going to be real with you. Okay, so you got name, and then we want email. Do we have email? And then we want phone. And I think that's it. And then I'll put here I'll ask them what time can they work. All right. So we'll hit that and then we'll go to the web form. So on the web form, we'll get the shareable link. All right, and then so we got name, email. I'm gonna move this up around. I really like the it's called superhero, I think. Superhero, yeah. Okay, so we've got all of that. I'm gonna go in and make it save it, but I'm gonna go in there and make each of them mandatory, like required. So we're gonna go to modify. We're gonna come in here and put required. Click on this, required. That's required. Okay. Ooh, what is that? Call link protocol to call to or tell. So I need to look that up. So that So you can now link Podio to calling. Okay, wow. All right, so here it is. Let me get that web form link again. And there. All right, so we're going to go up here to Craigslist. And you see we're in Chicago. What we want to do, oh man. It's not letting me do out of the United States. So it's not possible anymore. So that's really bad. So I guess you can't post on Craigslist in another country anymore, which seems really odd that they would care about that. Hmm. Oh, wait. Okay. Ah, okay. Manila. All right. So all of it's in Manila. Real estate for sale. Okay, that was really. We had lost it. Okay. So here's all the real estate. What am I thinking? Come on, dude. We want real estate for sale. We want jobs over here. Jobs in real estate. Here we go. Virtual assistant. We're going to be posting right here. So jobs, real estate. Job offered. And we want for this we want somebody, so we don't want somebody who's directly going to be working with people, but I'll say real estate, because if you want them to work with people, you could say sales and cold calling, but in that 30-second clip you're going to want to make sure that they are talking with a English sounding accent, so that people don't get mad at them. And then if you like this, I don't mind about the accent. The accent doesn't matter because they're going to be doing stuff behind the scenes. They're going to be going through leads in Podio and what have you. All right, so the posting title. All right, so here we're going to put okay. We're going to put part-time. So let me look up the peso. I believe it's pronounced peso. because it's spelled peso, but I have a feeling that it's pronounced differently. So the USD to it's Filipino peso. Okay, so $3 to $3 3 USD to Philippine, and you're not gonna tell me. How about you just give me that nice little box that I can plug stuff in? Nope. There we go. Okay, so $1 is 50 peso. So 151 piece. No, let's just put yeah, we'll put peso. 151. Wait. And we're gonna have them part-time, so that's 6 hours a day, probably we'll say 20 hours a week. $3,035, and we'll pay them by the week. So 3,035. And so, all right. There we go. All right, and then my email address. Get everything in there right. I've had some discussions, like the guy I hired that played Clash of Clans. I just paid him over PayPal, and he wanted cash. Um, so a lot of these people are familiar. Like, this is the dream job over there. So a lot of people are familiar with the exchange rates. Done with images. There it is. Publish. It's not done. I'll pause the share and go to my inbox. And publish it. Thank you for posting. We appreciate it. All right. All right, and we're back. Let's see if it will. Let me go. That would be easy. All right. So we've posted it to Craigslist. All right, let's go back. All right, so ways to find them: Odesk, Vlance, Upwork, or any other online VA site. And of course, Craigslist. Now, Craigslist is going to be in-house. They're going to be, so I really like to have them work in-house. And the next one, just the ad. All right, so I like to have them work in-house because I know they're not working other leads. I know they're not doing other stuff. And when you go in there to have them do a task, you upload the task, you put the task in, and then they do it. And if they're in house, you have some tasks, you just shoot it over to them. They'll work at night because right now they are 13 hours ahead of us. So they're right now, it is Saturday at 8 a.m. in Manila. So they're just waking up. This is when they're going to start doing tasks for you. That's why I asked, what hours are you going to be working, or, would you like to work? Because sometimes they may want to work during the night there so they can make calls here. So keep that in mind. But for the most part, I just have them work when they want, and I wake up and all of the stuff is done. I like that whole format. You know what I mean? I give them tasks during the day to the VA, and then at night they do them, because over there it'll be day. And then the next day when they're asleep, I wake up, all of the stuff is done. All right. And I don't worry about like if they've logged into Podio, and I see them doing the things and they're working the entire time. The amount of time they work doesn't matter. Nothing matters except for, do they do the tasks? All right. So why Craigslist? No extra site to log into to see what they're doing. You have instant access to them. In-house hiring means they only work for you. So they're not taking other people's real estate leads and working them, and they're not going to get them confused with your stuff. Easily give them tasks as you need to. Pay them less, as there's no middleman to pay, as you have to pay the site. And they have to log into the site. Then they have to do the thing you want. And then they log back into the site and say, oh, I've done. Right? You control the firing and hiring process. You are looking for, so you don't have to do the Philippines, but what you're looking for is an economy where the minimum wage is less than half of the country you're in. So this could be South America. This could be Pakistan is a good one. Any country that's not an American, because any non-American will work circles around us. I mean, you'll be blown away at how fast people can work. It is crazy how fast people can work. So the minimum wage is less than the country you're in. India is another good one. And you want the minimum wage to be less than half, so you can afford to pay more than what the half is. But when you compare it to the American dollar, so like, as y'all saw earlier, $3 is like the minimum wage in Manila is 75 cents US. So 75 cents here is enough over there for minimum wage for them to live right at the poverty line, right? So you then pay them $3 an hour, and you give them the dream job, and then of course you pay them $100 every time you close a deal, and they're living good. You're paying them extra. You're paying them a lot. They're getting tons of money. They're doing good work. And then at the same time, you're also paying less than you would be. And of course, you're not paying, somebody like me who's not really going to do that same kind of good work. All right. So Americans in these places are also good too, as they are easy to talk to. They know, the lingo. You'll probably keep up with the stuff. And they can still be paid the same. So if you find in America, there was a site, and I've been trying to find it, where it's veterans that work virtually, but they live in places like India and Haiti, South America, the Philippines, and they'll work virtually. And so there's with Filipinos, there's a little bit of a cultural barrier, on, what's, explaining what you need done, how to do it, that kind of thing. There's none of that with an American. It's an American, so you can easily talk to them a lot better. And of course, you're helping out a veteran. And if I find out that site, I'll share it with you. And then I think there's another one, moms, where it's just some guy wanted to hire his mom. So he created a site that would help people connect with moms trying to work virtually. So qualities and skills to look for. I'm so excited that I'm not coughing. All right, because I've got a little bit of a cold. So good qualities. They're truthful. They tell you what their hobbies are, as we talked about earlier in the forum. They ask a lot of questions. Hey, in particular, when you say remove LLCs, does that include corps, LLLPs? Because I see those on there sometimes. Asking questions like that. When I'm done with this, do I email it to you? Do I text you and tell you that I've emailed it to you? Those kinds of questions are really good. That is a good thing. You want them asking you. You don't want them assuming what it is that you need. They've worked for a real estate investment company before. I heard one guy, he worked in a boiler room like thing, and he would just be calling people nonstop, bugging them about, selling their house. And so that company went under, and luckily I picked him up. Good computer skills. So if they have a YouTube video and 30-second clip and they link it to you and you see like watermarks and, you see them put up little graphs of like, here's a spreadsheet that I've done and I was able to put in a pivot table and all this other cool stuff, right? That's really good. And the reason why pivot tables and Excel spreadsheets matter is because you may have them pull leads. Like a good list I talked about a couple months ago is that you can pull Craigslist yard sale data and then compare that person that made the post, if their name is in it, to the owner of the property. And if they're different, that means that's a tenant having a yard sale. And if it's a tenant having a yard sale, they're probably moving out. Yeah. And so, or that's even a landlord. And so you can pull that list and have them do a pivot table where it will pool all of that data and easily configure it for you. So having somebody that's good at spreadsheets is really great. Bad qualities. They take a while to respond. They have bad English. They have to have somewhat good English so that they can speak to you. I believe the root of Tagalog, which is the language, I want to say the root is somewhat Spanish in nature. So if you do speak Spanish, there may be some easier to talk. There's no less of a language barrier, but you've got to be able to tell them to do something and have them do it, and not misinterpret that and do the wrong thing. But if it happens a little bit, that's fine. They say they love spreadsheets. Trust me, this is something a lot of people say, and it is instantly makes me think like, oh, I love spreadsheets. I dream about. Nobody dreams about spreadsheets. All right, unless there's money in the sheets and you're getting paid for it, right? And then another bad quality is, you notice how I put that link in the to fill out that link for the Podio to apply for the virtual assistant job. A lot of people will reply to the Craigslist ad with a resume in my email. Excuse me, or they'll text it if my phone number's in there. And they're not following the rules. So if I tell them, hey, fill out this Podio web form, and they send me an email, that person does not follow directions very well. So you want somebody that's going to follow directions, and you only look at people who follow them, which is to fill out the Podio form. So you only look at those people. Inside their mindset. All right, so this is going to be focusing on Filipino people. I don't think I've ever hired a virtual assistant from buddy of mine hires almost exclusively from Pakistan. and then you can do India and South America. There are people just like you, okay? And this pandemic has really taught me about, dealing with people online a lot more. So you're dealing with these people not in person, you're dealing with them, through a screen or through texting. So a lot of the times there's not going to be this sort of one-on-one thing taking place. They will work circles around any American, let me tell you. Like, you think you work hard, they will work, 3 times harder. Especially Filipino people, they are peaceful and non-confrontational. If you get mad at these people, just take 2, buddy, okay? I got gummy vitamins. All right, there you go. All right. They're peaceful, non-confrontational. So, remember last episode, last month, I talked about stoicism and being a stoic, and the works or the life of Nelson Mandela, and not getting angry. Okay, so you got to be nice with these people, because if you're angry, they're going to ghost you, and then you don't want to lose a good virtual assistant that way. I've had friends that have gotten, angry at them. It's not worth it. All right, so it's not worth it for you to lose it, and you're going to lose this great VA that's working great for you, and you don't want to have that happen because of a misunderstanding and you get angry at them. So and then this is the dream job for them, so everybody loves it over there. You get to I was talking to this guy Clemente, who loves Clash of Clans, and he was telling me, everybody loves being a virtual assistant. You get to work at home, you get to sometimes pick your own hours. It's awesome, and it's good money. So dialects. All right, so this is where we get into the Bill Nye the Science Guy portion. All right, so you will notice here there's English, Tagalog, Cubano, Ilocano, and I apologize if I'm saying any of them wrong, obviously. Hiligaynon, Ware, Bicolano, Kapam Pangan, and Asinets. All right, but Tagalog is the name of the language, but it's also a dialect. Okay, and if you'll notice there, I said English. So right here is English. This is a different map, because these colors over here don't line up. But Manila is in that red area down there. There are portions of Manila, which is this this area right in here, I think somewhere in here is Manila. And there are portions of Manila where the dialect is English, meaning that people there do not speak Tagalog, they speak English. That's crazy, right? Like, it's the hardest language to learn, so imagine here, if I were in Georgia and there were white people speaking Tagalog, for example. Like, that would be great. Like, that is the thing they choose to talk to other people in. We talk to their family in that language. So that's crazy. All right, so that is how ingrained being a virtual assistant for Americans is, and how attuned they are to, you know, our whole culture as a whole, like that they're speaking to themselves in English. But the reason I teach you about all of these dialects is it helps to have the same dialects between your VAs. So if it's not Tagalog or if it's not English as their preferred language, the VAs should all have the same dialect. So I really should put that in the drop down menu, but it's in the drop down menu in my other Podio. I've got like 5, but I had to use a new one. But you should have a drop down menu on what dialect they have. So I would look up, because I looked up these dialects maybe 2 years ago, and it was probably like 4 or 5 dialects. Now there's like 9. So there may be new dialects forming, and you want to have all of them on there. So if you hire a person and they know Cebuano, Tagalog, English, and Bicolano, you want to make sure that everybody else you hire on knows Cubano or Tagalog, so that everybody's on the same page. Everybody needs to share at least one dialect. All right, because when they're communicating to each other without you, you know, if you've got a person pulling the leads, you've got a person skip tracing the leads, you want those people to be able to communicate with less of a barrier. So tasks. All right. Man, I hope I'm coming off of this cold. Oh, it's 7:40 already. Okay, so I'm told I gotta be quick. So we're gonna rush through this stuff. And if y'all have any extra questions, because they tell me people are dropping off right at 7:45. So 45 minutes in, we're gonna stop and do questions. All right, so tasks. Okay, so in here, we have, say we have some marketing. We're going to go in here to seller marketing, and I'm going to add a task. To Clemente. And then you would assign it to a person. I'll do Wholesaler Watkins. All right, that's me. Tomorrow I'll assign a, 9 p.m. Now that's my time, not their time. So if I'm planning on waking up in the morning on Monday, Sunday, I would wake up Sunday morning and they would have Monday. No. Sunday. Well, I'd wake up Monday morning and they would have had their Monday already. So I would, set it accordingly. So custom date. So 11 at 9 a.m. right? And that would be the task that I need them to do for Monday. All right. And when you give them a task, make sure it is a small task. Oh, 5:40 p.m. Here. So a while before I go. All right. So it's 7:42 here because I'm in Georgia. So 40 minutes in, I should say. Yeah. All right. So keep in mind about the time difference. And when you're giving them a task first, give them a light task. I mean, like super light, like feathers. Okay. You don't want to overload them with too much right off the bat. And you're going to lose money that first week, but you're going to know whether or not to keep them on board. And you want to pay them by the week, so you don't pay them a month and you get a month in and you're like, oh, I don't need this person, that they're not working for me. So you'll know by the end of the week whether you want to keep this person, and you're down $60. So it's not that bad. Okay. So you give them a task like pull list and remove LLCs. Thank you, caps lock. Okay, so you can also set these to repeat, as you know, and then we create the task. There we go. A task is created. That's how I would give them tasks. And I would get a free Zoom account like this right here. And I would just do this: share your screen, go through your Podio, be like, hey, I'm clicking here. Here's how to start a market, pull the leads. Then you start the marketing campaign. You click on this, you click on that, bloop, bloop, bloop. All right. If you need help with any of this, that's fine. You can text me. I go to bed at 10 a.m. your time. Let them know when to contact you, when to not contact you. And I would say pull the list, remove the LLCs as the first task. And then the next task, hey, you pull the list. Then come in here and say that you've pulled the list in the marketing campaign. Say, hey, we've got this campaign. It is a postcard. It is a live. Here's the start date. I'll plug in the price, the cost. You can plug in how many there are, right? Right. And then every day add on a new task to that and make it a little bit more complicated until they're able to handle it. All right. And then give them a list of tasks to do if they have extra time. I usually make an extra app, and in the app, I list out what is extra stuff they can do if they have free time. If they can go through Craigslist and find leads. Also, let them know that every deal you get, you're paying them $100. So there's incentive for them to bring deals in. Any deal, no matter what, if it comes in through them, if it comes through the company, let them know that they're getting $100. All right. Don't micromanage. Don't worry about it. It's fine. As long as they do the tasks. Payroll, I would pay them through PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, all of those. They are now going to be government regulated, so you're paying taxes on them, which is not that bad. And then it's the piso. That was the rate there. I'd pay $3 an hour, 6 hour, 60 per week. So I did my math right. $240 per month part-time, 12 a day, $24 a day full-time, $120 a week, and then $480 a month full-time. All right, so the firing process, it's pretty simple. You just go up here. You've got them in your thing here. You go over to them. You can click on this wrench, manage members, and you can go in here and remove from the workspace. Once they are removed from the workspace, you're going to want to go into all of your apps that you gave them access to and change the passwords. You'll have an app in there too, up here, that'll just be passwords and login information. And so I would go in there and go to those apps, like, where you pull leads from. If it's, ListSource or your Craigslist accounts, go in there and change those. Automation. All right. So once you get a star player, your MVP virtual assistant, you can give them a task. Excuse me. Man, nobody? All right. You can give them a task to come over here and take this link that we posted and post it to Craigslist in the Philippines. So you can have your VA, your star VA, hire new VAs. Okay. and they'll hire ones that they'll work good with, that will have the same dialects that they have. They'll have the 30-second clip, and of course you will review whoever they pick, right? Obviously, that goes without saying. But that's how you would automate this whole process, okay? And then get the VAs to hire VAs. Only after 2 months, make them an admin in Podio. You got to make sure you trust these people, because they can go in and do lots of stuff there. But what you could do is not have all of your stuff in one Podio. You could have it in other stuff. If you use batch driven, like I do now, I don't use Podio anymore. You can give them a login to batch driven, and of course you just kick them out, and it's that easy. And of course, because batch driven, you pull the leads in batch driven, you skip them in batch driven, you drive virtually, which you could have a VA drive virtually if you wanted. It's all in there. There's no other like extra site to go through. Make sure they tag you and give you final say on hiring, and have them do exactly like you did. Just post an ad. And nobody clicked on my ad. They probably ghosted me. I had like 3 people last time do it, and I ended up giving one to somebody in the chat that needed it. All right, so your homework is, if you need a VA, to post an ad for a VA, just like I explained, except we forgot about the drop down folder with the dialects. Remember the dialects, okay? And then hire one of them, and then give them a task. All right. So it's one of the biggest like growth problems that I see, is that people are still doing all the work themselves and not hiring those little tasks out to VAs. So do this. If you haven't done your first deal, or you don't have the extra cash to hire a VA, do all of the stuff that the VA would do. So pull the leads, skip them, call them, text them, mail them. Okay. So do what you need to do to get those next deals coming in, so that you can hire a VA. All right. And then go like everybody's Facebook page. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I hope this was helpful. I know a lot of people, VAs, it's just go to Odesk, VLance, or whatever those virtual assistant sites. If that's working for you and you want to keep doing that, go do that. But I wanted to give you the groundwork and the framework to hire VAs in-house working for you. You can eventually have them cold call for you. You want to look for people who've cold called before. You want people who are good at getting no's. So I've hired on a person that did cold calling, and she does calling for me now. And they're good at getting no's, because you don't want those no's to get you down. If they are the best person you can hire is want to talk to you about your vehicle's extended warranty, because those people can deal with whatever people throw at them. Because I know I know I look nice, but I've thrown some stuff, man. And the new one is like your Google business. And I tell them I work at Dave and Buster's. I don't have a Google business, and they still keep calling me. I tell them a new thing every time. Oh man! But does anybody have any questions? Anything at all? Has anybody gotten their first deal? Started talking to sellers? Let me know. Oh, I think I missed one. All right. Do you ever worry, or should I be worried about a VA losing or giving my leads or contacts to someone else? Okay, so they could be giving your leads to somebody else, but that's sort of a niche thing. So you're getting a virtual assistant. They would also have to be a virtual assistant for another real estate person. that other real estate person would also need to be working leads wherever you are, and that is possible. And if it is, you're gonna know it, because when you're calling these people, they're gonna be like, hey, I just got a call from like this other person, um, and then they're not gonna know where the leads came from either. So if you're pulling an inherited list, or if you're pulling a foreclosure list and they're calling it, hey, do you want to sell? The people are going to be like, we just inherited this house. Like, what? You know, um, so that's somewhat going to be a disadvantage, but there's a lot of things that need to happen. Um, so I don't think so. And you'll notice, because I had a VA that was working California and here in Georgia. And so I would see leads in California and be like, where are they coming from? These aren't mine. And where are those leads on that road, up there? So what I was doing before Batch Driven, before Deal Machine, is I would drive, have my notepad, and I would write down the addresses of the vacant looking houses, driving for deals. I would take a picture of that, upload that into my Driving for Deals applet that I made in Podio, and I would tag the VA. The VA would then go in and put all of those, type them into a spreadsheet, and then would look up and see where the tax assessor taxes were going. And so that would be my little list of, people to mail. And then of course I would somehow skip trace them later and do that. So there's a lot, you can have them do, but I don't. So, obviously I got rid of that VA that was getting deals from California, but you're going to know if you're calling people and the same person is calling them a second before you or a second after you. I don't think you should be worried about that. And if they're full time, it's going to be hard for them to, if they're working full time for you and you're giving them full time tasks. I mean, obviously not, day one or week one, but week two, and you start loading stuff on there, you can see in Podio that there is like and this one's not fully current because this is, I think this is one of my youngest. This is his email that I made for him. So I made this Podio account so I could show people. But you can see here all the stuff that they do. And if they're not an admin, they can't delete any of this. See, I can delete this. I can't delete that one for some reason, but only an admin, you can give them limited access to your stuff so that they can't delete anything, and you'll see what tasks they're doing. So if you give them like 5 tasks and they come in here and you don't see anything new here, you're like, hey, come on, dude. You're not doing the stuff. So then I might be worried, but selling the leads to somebody else, okay, so a couple of years ago, they had this thing called micro wholesaling, where they would sell leads. And I think the profit on it was something like 5 cents per lead. And you as a wholesaler would pull this list for somebody, and then you would sell that same list to like, however many other people you could at like a discount even. And you would just wholesale like the leads themselves. So it was micro wholesaling. So I don't know if there's even like, yeah, I don't think that, yeah, a lot would have to be happening for that to happen. Comparison between Podio and Batch Driven. Okay, so Podio is, you can do anything and you make the apps, and they have tasks, repeating tasks. You see I've got this up here, and I can trick it out. I can link this with Deal Machine, which is the Driving for Deals app. You click on a deal, it will load it in. You can have a program called Zapier pull that deal into Podio for you. We got one, guys. We got one. Oh, right in the nick of time, y'all. All right. And that's 200 a month. Podio is free. You'd have to have some calling service, like Mojo Dialer, which can also be linked through Zapier. Zapier's $15 a month. Mojo Dialer's $100 a month. And then you'll also have to pull leads. And so you'll probably pull leads with PropStream, which is $130 a month. And then you'll have to skip trace them, which is 15 cents a lead. I would do, if I had to pick any skip tracing service, I would pick, and I can't remember it. Lead Sherpa. I think it was Lead Sherpa. And so you'd have to pay for that, obviously. And then Batch Driven does everything that Deal Machine does everything that Podio does. It does everything it does skip tracing, and it does driving for deals, Deal Machine, and it does PropStream. So it pulls the leads, does all that stuff. And it now pulls sold data. And right now I have my team using the value of the property that it has in there, the tax assessor value. We are not looking up property info, seeing if the price is, our offer is what the seller wants. We're just looking at that. That is our seller offer. So if they ask for an offer, we just say that number right there. If they bug us for it, so we're quicker on that now instead of that. And then there's loan information on there. There is, your affiliation, if you're married, you're not married. I had on there one guy that the guy was Protestant. I don't know if that would be like helpful, but it's good to know, you know what I mean? And there's probably got to be a situation where I would use that not to, make the seller angry. And oh man, the only thing it doesn't do is calling. So right now we're doing 200 for Batch Driven and then 95 for Mojo Dialer. But at some point they're going to integrate Batch Dialer into Mojo Batch Driven, and so then we'll get rid of Mojo Dialer and I love Batch Driven so much. Oh man, it's just that calling. Need that calling. It's about the only thing it doesn't do. But it does texting campaigns. So when I get the foreclosure lit, like I'm going to get off of here and get the foreclosure list. I'm going to go through it, skip them, and then immediately send those people a text message. Oh, Tasha is calling inside of Mojo. So she'll get on there tomorrow. I'll upload the foreclosure list into Mojo and she will call that list. And I've got the script in there. She is, so the pay structure is I don't pay her anything, but when we do a deal, we split the deal. And so we are on an LLC together, 50-50. And so she makes the calls, I do everything else. And then she goes to the property and locks them up, and then I find a buyer. And so we just split the deals. That's the pay structure for that. But the way you do that is you bring them on as a partner. So I give them 50% stake in the business, and it's an LLC that I made. I think it's named like, Ross and Milton, something that sounds like a law firm you don't want to mess with. Like, oh, is that Cross and Milton LLC? You're like, no, stay away from them. So name it something unrelated. Like, don't put homes, don't put, Mike buys house, none of that. Just get an LLC, 50% stake, make them an owner, and they will act like an owner. and making calls and oh yeah, it's awesome. All right, so I've got this VA here if anybody needs it. Got a phone number, Keith. Online voice recorder. All right, cool. I like to watch movies. They've got dogs. Come on. Oh, yeah. So this is truth right here. I know this person is real. Enjoying the time and family and friends in this world, and certainly tea and doubts. We need to take time to pause and reevaluate things that are of importance and value. Therefore, most of my free time is spent hanging around with my family because it makes me feel that all my hard work is paid off when I see and know that I have them around. What times can you work? I could work daytime Philippine hours between 12 noon and 6 p.m., which is great. Um, which can be converted to, oh, wait a minute. How does he know, or how do they know Eastern Standard Time? Did Craigslist tell them that? I hope Craigslist told them that because that's eerie. Or maybe he just guessed. However, I am also flexible and would surely love to discuss other schedule options, which that's fine. I hope you can give me a chance. See all this extra like writing and verbiage. You see what I'm saying? Like that extra mile. And then they uploaded a file, which I didn't think about, but I'm guessing that's the resume, which is great. And then I've got a phone number I can call, which is probably going to be expensive, but I would email them or I'd probably send them a Zoom link and Zoom with them. Wow. And you see down here via the web form. Yeah, real good English. So yeah, I mean, you got to go with somebody that likes dogs. Like if you don't like dogs or cats or anything, something's up. Watching movies, yeah. Um, do they use Grammarly? Probably, but I would say that speaks to they're tech savvy if they're using Grammarly. I'd rather them use Grammarly and not have good, but you see we've got the 30-second clip. So let's look at this. Oh, it's just a texting. All right.
Hi, you should hire me because I am responsible, hardworking, and committed to my work. I have also been a virtual and admin assistant for a real estate company for 2 years now, and I can guarantee you that it has fully equipped me to take on more tasks that can even hone and develop my real estate career. I would be willing to show more of my skills should you give me this opportunity. Thank you.
Oh, I thought for a second there that it was like a 3-hour clip. I was like, oh man. See, exactly 30. Yeah. So this person is following rules. They knew about this site that's free that sends an audio clip because you want to hear their voice. I don't care about seeing them. That doesn't matter. Um, Man, yeah, this person's great. Yeah. Yeah, dogs are a shoe-in. Right. Um, okay. Um, so I'm gonna say if anybody here needs a VA, uh, let's leave this person's information in here and reach out to them if you need them. Um, yeah, yeah, okay. Uh, 12 to 6 p.m. their time, which is basically like, you go to sleep, you give them the task, you wake up the next day, the stuff's done. It doesn't matter, when they work. You're really asking what times can they work to know if they're willing to work at night there so that they can work during the day here. Yeah, so yeah, again, please be respectful. Don't send them any spam. If you truly need a VA, I would reach out to this person. Um, they're really great. I mean, yeah. Oh, that's a 5 out of 5. That's the VA, you know, you look for. All right, so here we go. We got another one, and then we'll end it after this. We got another phone number. Oh, Vocaroo online voice recorder. Okay. Now see, there's less stuff here, so everybody now I'm going to be comparing to Keith. So I sleep and play mobile games. I sleep a lot during my spare time so that I can regain my energy and have all the motivation to work and perform well. Mobile games is a way of to get away from stress. What's the name? All right. I can work anytime and I'm flexible. All right, yeah. So I would probably give that like a 4 out of 5, maybe. They play mobile games, they like to sleep, but they're flexible and they can work anytime. So that's great. So they could make calls, and if they're uh Vakaru,
You should hire me because I believe I have a lot of experience when it comes to call center. I've been in the call center for 12 years now. I've been doing customer service and the outbound call center, and the rest of the 2 years been in a managerial position, managing different kinds of agents, on-site and home-based uh, position. I believe I will be an asset to your company because I am very helpful. I can share my ideas to other people, and also I am available for work anytime if given a chance to work with you. So if you're interested with me, just shoot me a message. Thank you.
so they did go over the 30 seconds, which isn't really that big of a deal that they took a little bit longer. But it was almost unsure of himself. So he worked in a call center before, but it didn't sound like it. So if there is that experience there, he may be better as an admin or managing VAs possibly. So he could be good, but I would still rate him at a 4 out of 5. Um, but if I was to have anybody on the phone, I mean Keith, and I'm probably saying that wrong too. I apologize. Um, but she sounded so good, so nice on the phone. If I heard her voice on the phone, I would feel at ease more so than his. Um, yeah, I really like her a lot better. But there are those VAs. If she's taken, there's oh man, I'm so bad. Uh Melkor, Melkor, possibly. I hope. Uh, y'all can reach me out on Facebook and tell me I said it wrong too. Um, so yeah, and we're getting real names too, which is another truth. So we're getting real names. I had a guy give me named John Smith, and I was like, "Come on!" And his real name was Clemente. And we did a Skype call. He told me, "Oh, it's Clemente, but people have a hard time pronouncing it." Um, yeah, maybe I should put in there to say, "Hey, how do you pronounce your name?" Because they really like pronouncing their real name. Like I don't want to say, yeah, I feel weird, calling some guy John Smith. Like, and the email was John Smith too. But I would go with Keith if I had the option first. But if y'all call Keith and they're not available, I would then go with Melkor. So that's what I think. There's no other questions. I think we'll end it here. We are 13 minutes past. Oh, I'm so glad I got to evaluate somebody. All right, so let me look at what is happening, what the date is for. All right, so this date. So the next one's on the 22nd. I'll probably come up with something else then. Oh, you know what? I mean, I've already talked about all the VA and stuff. I mean, there's not much to it, other than this. Oh, thanks. Very good information. All right. I think on the 22nd, which is the next webinar, I think I'm going to do the house help model and go into more detail on that. If there's anything else you want me to cover, let me know. Next month, we are going to cover how to sell your deals and how to market your deals. But I think I'm going to talk about the house help model and how to help people instead of, hey, we want to buy your house, because everybody's getting flooded with this, we want to buy your house. So if you hit them up with a consultant way, like, hey, we want to help you and consult for free, on your house, whether it needs funding, does it need repairs, does it need contractors, tenants, do you need help selling it, and sort of get on their little shoulder, like Jafar from Aladdin, and sort of be their consultant. And then when they decide to sell, they sell to you, you help them sell to cash buyer, right? So I think that model is a better way to go, and you separate yourself from all that, we want to buy your house, all that pushy gunk. Yeah, one guy actually helped him keep his house. He actually ended up keeping it, and we got him funding for back payments. And the great thing is I got a cut from the funding, which is great. So if y'all can find funding that you do that. I've got like an affiliate link. Well, not like an affiliate link, but I actually do the paperwork and then submit the paperwork. So I get a little bit more than an affiliate link. But if y'all need that, I do that too. Yeah. So he ended up keeping the house. We find them tenants, which is like, we get them a tenant. The tenant then pays us $1,000 to move in as option money. So we get paid that way. We get paid every way, I think, except for connecting them with contractors. Yeah, you ended up with the deal, a VA loan. Yeah. So we consult with people and we help them, and we're on their side. And it's like, hey, well, we'll get you funding. Oh, you don't have enough credit, we'll help you build up credit. And then when they come to and they're like, you know what, I don't think this is going to work, we need to just sell it and get rid of it, you're the person they've been building that trust with. So that's what I'm going to talk about on the $22nd. All right, I'll see y'all then. Remember to do that homework. This should be up in about a week, and you can watch it again. But if you need those VAs, get the VAs. If not, you need to get that first deal. Pull a list, skip the list, call the list, text the list, mail them, do what you got to do. Always be marketing. All right. Thank y'all for coming, and I'll see y'all next time. All right.